Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? Welcome back to ManCity Unplugged, your very own ManCity fan channel. I hope all of you had a very nice weekend. Uh, there are some very interesting piece of news to discuss today. I mean, something which I should say has been really unexpected that City will go to such an extent in order to replace Vincent Kompany. I mean, the thing with Koulibaly is, like we have discussed in the previous videos as well, the talks are like really locked. And an important message coming from Koulibaly's camp is, I mean, Napoli's coach Gattuso has also like released a statement a few hours ago, yesterday. I mean, a few hours ago today, that if Napoli's asking price is not met by Man City, which is around 75 to 80 million pounds, I guess, then then Napoli will not leave Koulibaly. Then Koulibaly will stay at the club and and commit his future to Napoli. I mean, so the thing is, Koulibaly really doesn't want to miss out on going to Man City. But then again, the problem is Koulibaly also feels. I think there are actually, the concerning thing is there are two voices coming out uh, from from Koulibaly's camp. One thing is that Koulibaly doesn't want. I mean, Koulibaly doesn't want to miss out on going to the Premier League. He sees that it is a big step forward in his career, which he will not get because he's 29 years of age, and I think this will be the last significant contract which he will sign. So he just wants to team up with Pep Guardiola to play in that Champions League, because Napoli right now are in the Europa League. So Koulibaly thinks it's a perfect opportunity and is one of the best in Europe. For how long will he bide his time in a team which cannot literally compete for any trophies? What have Napoli won in the last 4 5 years? If you see, nothing. Maybe they might have won some Italian domestic cup, and apart from that, nothing. And they consistently go out in the group stages or just in the first knockout round in the Champions League. Now Koulibaly will be thinking, why should I spend the rest of my career here, being one of the best central defenders in the world, and why should I just retire at the end of my career trophyless? That's the mindset. Those are the noises that are coming out from Koulibaly's camp. But another thing that is coming out is, which has literally concerned me, is that Koulibaly is also kind of feeling settled. It's like if Napoli can offer him an improved contract, especially the wages and stuff, if we can, Koulibaly is thinking if he can get a significant rise in the wages, maybe that 200,000 pound or 250,000 pound mark, then he's happy to stay at Napoli. Which again makes me question: is he really committed to come into City, or is it just the money again which is in place? We have seen that if it's just the money, I mean, I do agree that money is important for player because football careers are short. But then if it's just for the money, then I would very well look at other options than Koulibaly, because we have seen what happened. Manchester United are a prime example. Lude Sanchez, just for the money and not for the chance of working with Pep and winning titles. See how it's ended. There are countless examples of that. So, and Felipe Coutinho is another example. Barcelona, Anthony Griezmann is another example. So the thing is, if that is the case, if there is not total commitment from Koulibaly, then I don't think we should go for him, because the last thing we would want is a player who is not fully committed to the cause and coming in. That would just disrupt the harmony of the team, I would say. But one of the most interesting developments that have occurred is, I think City, like I said, are really sharp in the transfer market, and we have this transfer juggernaut. And City have, like, I mean, there have been news coming from multiple outlets, some of which are said to be really reliable, that City have bid 87 million pounds for Jose Gimenez, who, as you all know, is an Atletico Madrid defender, is one of the stars of the Atletico Madrid team, I would say. The way he defends and all, he's really top class. I would rate him in the top 6 7 defenders in the world. And an interesting thing is, he's just 25 years of age, and he has almost got all the attributes which Koulibaly has, and he can only become better, I would say, and is 4 years younger than Koulibaly. So he hasn't yet come into his prime. 87 million pounds. Now you can ask me, why is City not meeting the 80 million pound or 75 million pound valuation of Napoli, but prepared to give 87 million pounds for Jose Gimenez? Age is the factor again. 29 years of age. You don't know. Getting into the later parts of his career, 30, 31, 32, might be injury prone. You don't want to spend 80, 85 million pounds on a player who's almost touching 30 and who you for sure know will not have any resale value, or you do not know for how long will he be in his prime. Although I believe that defenders can continue until 32, 33, but with Koulibaly's style of defending, he's that he's so much enthusiastic. I would say he's like a Rolls Royce defender, just like Vincent Kompany. He goes with his full heart into tackles. He like puts everything. He gives his everything into tackles. He packs a punch with his tackles, I would say. That's how I describe Koulibaly. And with such an action-packed style of defending in the Premier League, we have seen what has happened to Vincent Kompany at the end of his career. Lots of injuries in his 30s, basically. So the same thing might very well happen to Koulibaly. And City, after pouring so much money on defenders who have not worked out, especially, is in no position to invest 80, 85 million on a 29-year-old who you don't know how many years will he give. Yes, the next 2 years he will give for sure. After that, you don't know, especially with his style of defending, his Rolls Royce style of defending. But with Jose Jimenez, you're getting someone who is of almost the same age as Aymeric Laporte, and like Laporte, he has also played in that Spanish league, which means he will be accustomed to Pep Guardiola's method. See, I always say about players coming from the Spanish league that City has, if there are good players there, City has to give them first priority because they already know. At least I know he's coming from Atletico Madrid, but then that Spanish style of play, he at least knows he's at least ingrained in those systems, which means he'll take much lesser time adapting to Pep Guardiola's methods. The same thing about Ferran Torres. That's why I feel that Ferran Torres will be a lot more involved this season than he was in the past seasons. I'm sorry, will be a lot more involved straight away this season than we had seen with Leroy Sané, where he was just, I would say, pampered the first season, and it was really the second season where he was fully involved. Now the same thing with Jose Gimenez as well. He's from that Spanish. He's from the Spanish league. He knows the methods well, which means that he can straight away go into that City's defense, and he's really good on the ball. He's really powerful. He has a great tackle. I mean, he has a great tackle on him. Reach dangers well. Really good at interceptions and very very good in the air. That's one thing which I would like to emphasize. Really good in the air. Maybe as better in the air as Koulibaly. So it is really good that City have gone for Jose Jimenez. But the one stumbling block here is that Atletico Madrid have a release clause of 110 million pounds, round about that. Will City be able to match it? No way. 110 million pounds? No, not for a defender. But then, seeing this financial climate, seeing this global pandemic, and the way it's going, I think Atletico Madrid would be really tempted by that offer. 87 million pounds in this climate. It's just wow. Atletico Madrid should surely commit to it. Let's see how much can they hold off with this bid. This bid would be really tempting to them. And interestingly, City have also inquired about, I mean, spoken with the representatives of Upamecano. That's what has been one of the other news before the news of this Jose Jimenez bid has come in. So City now are on the prowl. I think they realize that maybe the deal with Koulibaly is not as realistic and as assured as City thought maybe a week ago. Because even in my last video, I was just telling you 2 days back, I was telling you that I only give this deal a chance of 30 to 40% of it happening. More than that, it really doesn't look likely. One is because the Napoli president is down with coronavirus, which is really slowed down the talks between both the clubs. And also, I mean, both the clubs are not talking. There's the agent who is talking. All of these things indicate to me a lack of mutual trust between the clubs, and City are just negotiating with Napoli because it's City's need, basically, if they want to have any chance of competing for the title this season, especially with the way their opponents have reinforced themselves. So I think it is So it's City's need basically that they had to go and talk to Napoli even if they did not want to. So and now City are convinced that it's not a good option to put all of the eggs in one basket like they did with Harry Maguire, like they did with Van Dijk. No, no, no. We City can't lose the third time again. That would just mean shambles for the board, shambles for everyone. City now have a feeling that they have a consensus along with Pep Guardiola that this time we need to get a central defender. We need to put our ego away and get a central defender now. It would be Koulibaly or it would be someone else. We don't care about that. But what we do care is the defender is of a right age. It's not like that we pay £100 million for Koulibaly. No, no, no. That is not allowed. I mean, it's nice that you put your ego apart, but then you should also not lose your mind, because this is, I mean, the transfer market is more than anything else a game of minds, a game of tactics, outside game of chess. Now Napoli has made their move. It's time that City make their move really shrewdly, and this is a perfect thing. We are talking to Upamecano. We have made a formal bid for Jose Jimenez, which means alarm bells will be ringing for Napoli, because like I said, like I was saying throughout my previous videos, that Napoli need to sell. Napoli need that money. Otherwise, they are not gonna recover from the loss they posted during this pandemic. They're not playing in Champions League, which means a significant drop from the revenue which they had last year. They have to sell Koulibaly. Otherwise you will not get a good enough price for Koulibaly. No, Napoli are a buying club. I mean, sorry, Napoli are a selling club, just like Dortmund. But the only thing is they're not as clever or as shrewd as Dortmund. They always tend to make these mistakes, and the players just tend to go off and lose their resale value. I don't know when will Napoli learn, but that's not our concern as City players. I'm sorry, as City fans. So right now the ball is in Napoli's basket, and Napoli president had issued an ultimatum that any deal for Koulibaly should be concluded within this week. I think it's the reverse that has happened, and Napoli president is just trying to save his face. City have issued an ultimatum by making a formal bid for Jose Gimenez and by talking to Upamecano. And I mean, if you offer £90 million to Leipzig for Upamecano, they will be selling. Upamecano will be there training at the Etihad from tomorrow or day after, whenever his medical is done. That's how much City can offer, because Upamecano is just like 21. He has far more years, almost a decade to give, and £100 million would be a fair enough investment on Upamecano, I would say. But then the one, but then if you really ask me, I mean, just do comment, write down in the comments below, whom do you want in at the club? Do you want Upamecano, or do you want Jose Gimenez, or do you still want City to go for Koulibaly? Just let me know in the comments below. Now, my only worry about Upamecano is he's young, he's 21, and is around about 21, 22. And then, I mean, City have bought in young defenders like this in the past, be it Mangala, be it John Stones, almost round about this age, and they've not worked out. Actually, that should be a major concern. Now you would say he's done really well in the Champions League, in the knockout matches. He's done exceptionally well in the Bundesliga, but then the Bundesliga is not Premier League. And also 22-year-old who has to change the country altogether, who has to come to Manchester. It's not just about a different league. It's about the cultural differences. It's about the weather conditions. It's about the food. It's about adjusting to life there, and it's about him not becoming homesick. I mean, a lot of things. A 21-year-old coming into a new league is not the same as a 25, 26, or 27-year-old coming into a new league. So that is my major concerns with Upamecano, and we do not want a defender who takes time to settle in, because time is one thing which we don't have. City are ready to spend money, invest money, but then time is something which they don't have to offer. I mean, they don't have in their hands to offer to any new signing. He has to bed in straight away, because that's the intensity with which Liverpool are playing. I'll come, and other rivals of City are playing. I'll come into that in just a moment, about the key observations from the Premier League this time. I mean, over over this first weekend of Premier League action. But then the one thing I would say is Jose, if you ask me personally, Jose Jimenez for me is a better fit. He's 25, experienced, played in numerous Champions League games, played on big European nights, knows what it is to be under the cosh, under pressure, especially defensively. Is absolutely a rock one-on-ones. So I mean, Jose Gimenez fits the bill exceptionally well, and is 25, 87 million pounds is roundabout uh, a really fair investment. He's just getting into his prime. He's someone who's gonna be a leader. I think along with Aymeric Laporte, it would be the perfect fit for City basically. And language also would not be much of a problem because Spanish league, Pep speaks Spanish as well. There are good amount of Spanish players in City squad, so language would not be much of a problem again, especially in defense, Laporte and Jimenez. Because the other thing is, if you bring in Upamecano, language could be an issue here because again, uh, Laporte speaks Spanish and English maybe, but Spanish. Upamecano speaks German and he doesn't know English, I think. So it's again going to be a bit of a problem because especially defensively, it's the most important thing is how will you communicate with your partner. Like if one is going up, the other one should drop. If or else if how do you defend set pieces? It's important that the communication is good. When do you hold that line? When do you track your runner? When do you go with the runner? When do you play offside? And I mean all of those things are like really important to discuss with your defensive partner. So Jose Jimenez would fit that bill as well, I think. So it would be a perfect match for Jose Jimenez to come to City. That's what I think. Just comment down. Let me know in the comments below what you lot think about this. And now moving on from the transfer news to the key observations. I mean, I know the Premier League week one is not over yet. You have two matches today. Chelsea is playing Brighton, and also Wolves is playing Sheffield United. But then the key match for me was Liverpool versus Leeds. I mean, everything was there in that match except defense. Both the teams were not good defensively. But then what I noticed was that Liverpool did not lose that urge to win. Liverpool did not lose that passion to go after a result, even though they would have easily settled for a draw or something. No, they went till the end, especially when it was 3-all. In that last 5 minutes of the match, Liverpool were just pummeling Leeds United. Cross after cross was coming in. They were just camped inside Leeds penalty box for 5-6 minutes, and they could have easily scored 2-3 goals in that time space, which really shows me that they still haven't lost that passion, that enthusiasm in them to really go for the win, go for victory, even though it seems that the other teams would be satisfied by the draw. They haven't lost that panache of champions, I would say, which I would say is a big message to City that Liverpool are going to be ruthless and coming after you again and again and again, like they have done in the last 2 seasons. So what should City do? I think City should also play with that intensity, that kind of energy, that sharpness, that passion. I would say that enthusiasm. I would say. I mean, it's not the most talented of teams that win the league. It's the teams that are relentless that win the league. It's the teams that are down but that tend to find situations. It's the teams that have great temperament, that have great character, that great personality when they win the league. Like you have seen 2 seasons ago. Honestly, Liverpool should have won the league. They were relentless enough, and City 2 seasons ago were like they really lost many matches in December, and also in mid of January after defeating Liverpool, they lost to Newcastle. They were out. But then City had that personality, had the character in them to go on that run of 14 matches unbeaten and win the league on the last day against Liverpool. It is that temperament that makes champions. So I don't care if you don't win the title this season. But what I don't accept is that we don't show the temperament and that character this time. Each ball we need to compete. We need to compete for each decision. We need to compete for each pass that we give. We need to compete for each tackle. We need to compete for each cross that comes into our box, be it attacking or defending. That sort of mentality is what I wish to see in City this season, and nothing short of that will be unacceptable. Unacceptable to me, unacceptable to all the City fan community, unacceptable to the board, who is doing such a wonderful job putting in all the tools that are required to make sure that City has everything for them to really compete for that, for all the trophies. We have a wonderful coach who's really working hard. So I don't accept a drop in intensity this season, and that is what we have to show. Otherwise, it will be really difficult to catch down this Liverpool team. They've already started the journey off. They've started the journey off just like a cheetah with full speed, and we need to really be an eagle who doesn't give up, king of the skies. That's what we need to be. So I think it will be really interesting to see how Chelsea start their season as well, because they've also bought a lot of signings and new signings, as you all know. But another interesting thing is that we have played a match less than Liverpool, so every time, especially until the first few weeks, there will be that pressure that Liverpool are always ahead of us due to playing extra match, but still, so there'll be that added pressure on us. So again, it's again a test of temperament and character. That's what I tell you. It's a test of what we are made of. It's a test of, is the passion and the fire still burning inside us? That's what this will show, because every time we play, Liverpool would already have played, especially for the first 4 5 weeks. So dropping points would mean that it would put more pressure on us, because already we'd be seeing Liverpool ahead in the leaderboard. So how do we cope with it? That's an interesting one to see, because now I think due to this we can't look ahead. We can't look more than one game ahead at this point. We have to take each game as it comes. It's possible. We had done it 2 seasons ago, 14 matches unbeaten on the trot, when everything looked lost, when we were defeated in the Champions League by Spurs. I still remember, and we came back 2 days later to defeat Spurs at the Etihad. That's the character this team has. That's the personality this team has. I know that. I just hope that they fulfill the aspirations once again and compete for the title. They really go on and show what they're made of. That's what I want to see this time. And I do really hope that by this weekend we really settle on one defender or the other. The three are really good options, but if you really ask me, I would go for Jose Gimenez. It will be really interesting to see how this weekends, but I think there'll be some or other kind of strong noise that will be coming in, that we have zeroed in on a particular defender, or whether Koulibaly deal will eventually go through or not. Let's see how it goes. And also, I really hope that you're liking the content. If you have enjoyed this video, please drop a like on this video, and also do click on that bell icon, and the subscribe button, so that you get notifications whenever I put content on the channel. And I'll try to put content on the channel regularly. Every day I'll try to come before you. And also, take care and have a great Monday. Enjoy the day. See you. Bye.